Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball, a tour through history, with the Kansas City Royals. We have just 30 seasons to get up to 2020. We'll probably end in 2022, but I think 2020 makes more sense. Unless we're having a really great time with whichever team we're playing at in that season, that's probably where we will end it. Though, it is important to note that we have completed, 6 seasons of our time with the Royals. So technically, we'd have to play till 2024, which I'm fine with. That's where we end up being. So it gives us plenty more seasons to go. 34 of them, in point of fact. And I think that's probably the direction I'm leaning. That'll let us play with 3 more teams, and that should be interesting. Last season, we went 87 and 75. Again, a respectable amount, but we still have some money problems. Now, a commenter very astutely pointed out, I think it was Adam Hammer, forgive me if I have your name incorrectly, but the fine Mr. Hammer, if that is his real name, basically said, I don't have anybody playing in A-ball or rookie ball. Why do I pay coaches there? And that's a very salient point. It definitely seems like I could save some money if I just fired them and had no coaches, because I don't have any players there. The reason why I'm not doing that is because it feels a little bit too exploity to me. I'm not saying that it's not a perfectly legitimate strategy to play in your own games. I'm just saying that I won't do it. I have no qualms about exploiting AI tendencies, but I don't want to do anything that seems openly like cheating. Because there are players that they're just like non-existent, they're ghost players. So it's also a good way to stash young coaches so I can promote them for a lot cheaper down the line. So, last season went okay. There's certainly nothing to sneeze about going 87-75. We traded Frank Viola and came with Pascual Perez, who is an excellent replacement. But we're having a bit of a money crunch. This is not because we have a lot of bad contracts. I mean, arguably Ozzie Smith is. But for the most part, we're paying great players fair value for their labor. So what's the problem? The problem is we just don't have very much money. And there's not really an easy way to get the money that we do need. Obviously, trading Ozzie Smith would solve a fair few problems, but would also cause some, right? Regardless of what we think about him and his salary, the fact is he has been one of the best shortstops in Major League Baseball the whole time we've had him. If a guy's going to crank out 4 to 5 win seasons, I see no reason that I should hurry to get rid of him. Instead, what we need is... we need some other way to either make more money or save more money. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the ticket price. I'm going to increase it up to $4.50. This still strikes me as not nearly enough money. Let's see here. How much are the Yankees charging their fans at this point? I'm not saying we're as good as the Yankees, but they're charging $10. What about the Guardians? We're in a very similar American city. Yeah. Kansas City is not a gigantic market, but we should be able to charge at least as much as, say, the Guardians. So let's go ahead and kick up our ticket prices all the way up to $6. That's still a bargain, but it should hopefully bring us some more revenue. We're probably also going to need to cut our budgets a bit in order to make some cash to spend, or we could just try to fill the gaps that we have using the power of friendship. No, I'm joking. We fill it using the power of the draft. Okay, we can have Steve Avery next season, potentially. We could let Paul Abbott be a dude. We have Rudy Sienas. Like, the bad players we have are whatever. But we have the very good ones as well. So, we need a right fielder, and that right fielder might well be Ruben Sierra. Although Fred Lynn is also gone now, because we're not bringing him back. So it might be Ruben Sierra out and left, and then we find a new right fielder. I'm not sure yet. In case you missed last week's video, Ruben Sierra happened when we traded away Gerald Young. As many bases as Gerald Young stolen, as great as his defense was, I just don't think it was very smart to keep investing money in him. So what we're going to do now, I believe we already have arbitration contracts out to those we want to keep. We're going to do a big old jump into the next season after going through all the awards. Everybody took bigger contracts. That's lovely. Do we get any awards? Like, even one? Lenny Dykstra got a Gold Glove. I mean, we weren't that... Oh, and Oral Hershiser got a Gold Glove. That's kind of cool. I can dig it. Mr. Pete Mangini is like, hey, I want to be a pitching coach. What if I just gave you a raise? That seems good, right? I can't give up Rick Reed. I'm not telling you that Rick Reed is an amazing player, but what he is incredibly crucial to our success. And I still need a single A hitting coach. Really? There's not a single hitting coach who wants to coach for high A. Alright. Oh, let's just promote the rookie guy then. Jack Hyatt is reasonably acceptable. That's hilarious. Like, everyone's just like, no, I will not coach you any longer. Alright. Alright. So, let us consider the amount of money we had to spend. Okay, good talk. And then we're just going to keep going. Scouting budget probably has to come down. Which would be 134. Because it's half the league baseline, right? That's the most money we can put in. That's going to be true for the development budget as well. That's going to be 84,333. 89,333. There you go. Why is my draft budget 214,000? Like, holy shit, game. My draft budget is now 0. Okay. And we're still losing money. And it's because my owner is a cheap motherfucker. And that's fine. That's what we have to deal with. Whatever. I'm probably going to trade somebody out in order to make any sort of meaningful moves that don't involve the draft. Alright, who are we looking at here? Hall of Fame must. I'm going to go for Bob Allison. Try to get him in. Bo Belinsky seems good. Ron Bloomberg, not so much. Bobby Bonds, I think, deserves it. I think he's got a unique combo of power and speed. And I would feel pretty good about him being in the Hall of Fame. Johnny Callison, of course. Bernie Carbo, no. Man, Rod Carew in this timeline just wasn't very good. Rod Carew is definitely not a Hall of Famer. Neither is Cesar Cedeno or Ron Say. None of them are even close in my opinion. Larry Dierker, I'll toss a vote toward in his general direction. Reggie Jackson is borderline, but I do think he deserves it. I do think he'd be a fun addition to the Hall, as would Gentleman Jim. Mostly because he's a third baseman and put together those crazy numbers. Yeah, I'll vote for Jerry Kenny. I don't see why I wouldn't. Okay, Billy Mccool is the Hall of Famer. That's a redonkulous career for a reliever. No, I'm betting he actually started for a fair bit too. He didn't start one game in the major leagues and still produced 83 WAR. Holy fucking shirt balls. Yes. Very clear Hall of Famer. That's ridiculous. It is literally absurd. Jim Nash looks pretty good. Holy shit, Billy Mccool. I'll vote for Fritzy Baby. Reggie Smith, easy choice for the Hall of Fame. Not even a moment's hesitation there. So, I have the feeling that Reggie Smith, Bobby Bonds, and maybe even Billy Mccool are the ones I would most likely suspect to make the Hall this year. Maybe Bob Allison finally gets over the hump. But I think those three are the most likely. Reggie Smith, Billy Mccool, and Bobby Bonds. Maybe Reggie Jackson, too. I mean, the man did hit over 500 homers. That's not nothing, but I just don't know if it's enough. We'll see, though. We'll see. Let's hit OK. And let us proceed up to the first-year draft. You'd give me Rick Aguilera, but why do I want Rick Aguilera? I don't need another bullpen guy. I reject your face. The entire face, top to bottom, is rejected. No, I do need a starting pitcher. This is an unfortunate fact that Steve Avery's going to have to fill. And as far as another bullpen guy, that's what Rudy Cianes is for. And as far as a different pitcher, probably Paul Abbott. So, I mean, we have arms. We're still going to have to make a really good draft, though. We're going to have to draft for at least a couple of something. George Frazier. Why am I trading an admittedly unimpressive reliever for an even worse one? Like, I don't know what you're playing at here. Like, I don't know what you're smoking, but whatever it is not very good. Okay, this is a damn fine draft class, but I'm unfortunately not picking all that high. I'm picking 18th. So anyone on this list will not be there by the time I draft. But there's some damn fine players there. I mean, Jeff Bagwell, Ivan Rodriguez, Jim Thome, all of whom made the Hall of Fame. Bernie Williams, I know if you're a Yankees fan, you're gonna try to sell me that he should be in the Hall of Fame too. I don't think he would cheapen it. I just think there's better center fielders like Kenny Lofton that aren't in either, and I'd rather have Kenny Lofton than Bernie Williams. Mo Vaughn was a wonderful person and won an MVP he had no business winning. That should have gone to Albert Bell, in my opinion. But in any case, none of these guys will be here by the time I draft. So we're just going to have to hope that we can get a quality player or three regardless. There's quite a few top-tier pitchers, and that might help some of the hitters fall to us. But we'll just have to see who's available and then decide from there. Alright, well... I'm not even underwhelmed. I'm not even whelmed. I'm ridiculously underwhelmed by the choices available to me. Huh. Ed Sprague is fine, I guess. Holy shit, how have I lost 3 starters? Wait, what? I should have the entire infield, plus Dykstra, plus Sierra. Oh, Sierra's not in there, and I still need a right fielder and a designated hitter. Drafting Eric Karros to be a designated hitter, I guess, makes a little bit of sense. Then again, Ed Sprague is arguably has a chance to be an even better hitter. I want someone who's ready to go, like, right now is the thing, though. Now, Jose Hernandez offers us a really top drawer utility guy. And we do need more depth in the infield. Or we could go for a Darryl Kyle or a Frank Castillo. I'm going to go ahead. I am going to take Jose Hernandez. I think his positional flexibility plus his overall talent level make him an excellent player. So we're going to draft him and then auto draft and see who's left. I undoubtedly need an outfielder. I need any hitter who's basically somewhat competent. But we can also maybe fill that role in the draft or in the Rule 5. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to draft ourselves some Roberto Hernandez. Strengthen our bullpen a little bit. Nobody wants Monty Ferris. I can see why. He's pretty terrible, but I'll take him anyway because I'm kind of desperate. They might literally not let me sign nobody, which would be very embarrassing, but that might be what happens here. Mike Timlin. And then you can draft whoever you want to at this point game, because there's literally nobody I draft is going to matter. This season could be a disaster. Not least of which because I have no draft budget, the owner might let me sign nobody. Okay, I guess he will. So that's something. Yeah, it's like, this is a perfectly cromulent draft, but it's not a good draft. And we still have 2 quite large holes, and that I don't have a right fielder, and I don't have a designated hitter. Now, maybe Jose Hernandez can fill one of those spots, preferably designated hitter. Or maybe Matt Williams becomes a DH, and we let Jose Hernandez play third base. I don't know what the solution is, but I don't like the pieces we have to do it either. Game, just stop this nonsense of randomly turning people into relievers. That doesn't do anybody any good. And let's check on Paul Abbott a bit. Like, the fact is, point blank, I can't afford Ozzie Smith. So maybe we trade him now and let Jose Hernandez play short. Because clearing Ozzie Smith's payroll off my books is going to give me a lot more flexibility. And I kind of think I need it. So I think we are going to go ahead and try to trade him. So if I were to look for a prospect or a regular, or even a veteran, I get nothing. Let us offer to pay half of his salary. That still gives me more money than I have now, which is to say none. I'm going to have to eat his salary to keep it, to get rid of him, and that just doesn't make sense to me. So for now, I'm just going to go ahead and put him on the block and see if somebody else might be interested in him. The other person to trade would be Matt Williams, but I don't think there'll be as robust a market for him. I need Lenny, I need Clark, and I need Hershiser. These three are untouchable. I need my owner to just fucking pay my goddamn expenses, but whatever. Excuse me. Like, I look, I'm $3 million short. That's the problem. We're hemorrhaging money, and because we're losing so much money, the owner won't give me anymore. I'll try to make sure I don't have, like, I'm not paying, like, $500,000 for, like, a hitting coach, but I don't think that's the issue. I'm paying Dick Allen a lot of money, but he's frankly worth it. And the rest of this coaching staff is fine. This is just a question of the owner being a cheap bastard, and that's just gonna... We're not gonna be able to do anything about it. Because he is an economizer. All he cares about is saving money. And that's whatever. It's his prerogative to do what he wants with his money, but it is gonna make it harder for us to build a baseball team. Alright, so I need a right fielder and arguably a DH in this draft. Everyone takes Alan Anderson every year, and they never keep him. Can anybody in this draft hit even a little bit? I mean, there's always Gerald Perry. He could be a DH. I could even put him out left field. If I had to. I'm not, like, enamored with him, but I don't really have any better choices, so I guess Gerald Perry it is. Let's go for Gary Roeneke, just because I need literally anybody to play a position. So there we go. That's our Rule 5 draft finished. Let's complete it. Mccool, Smith, and Bonds all made it. Bob Allison didn't. I found that a little bit strange. I forgot to vote for Tommy John. That's on me. I don't feel so passionately about it that I'm going to, like, Veterans Committee him, but if y'all are, like, the Hall of Fame is a travesty without Bob Allison, then I'll do something about it. Let us proceed. There's likely to be a somewhat dull season just because I'm playing so many marginal guys, and the owner just won't give me any money. Like, the fact he categorically refuses to give me more money. Like, yeah, my budget's $19 million. That's amazing. I still can't sign any free agents, though. So that's whatever, I guess, but... Like, where's the rest of my money, bitch? Like, I have a budget of $19 million. Oh, this might just be... Like, I'm spending $1 million on everything else. That makes sense. Oh, the arbitration estimates involve... Explain to me why that's so high. Yeah. We're probably going to have to trade one of our younger players, maybe. But it's also a chance that Lenny Dykstra opts out at the end of next season. And if he does, then that's one way to recapture some money. We really need to get rid of Ozzie Smith, though. If we can find a way to get rid of him, I think we'll be much better off. Let's go up to spring training. Let me be clear here. I'm not at all convinced that we're a better team this year. Not even a little bit. I'm not saying that we're a worse team, but I don't think we're any better. I never signed Hector Farhado because I don't remember him. So that happened. Alright, so people making the team in spring training are going to be Jose Hernandez, Roberto Hernandez, Rudy Cianes, Steve Avery. We have too many pitchers, but I genuinely don't have a position player left that I would call up. Is there any free agent that wants to come back and play for like zero money? A guy like George Bell would be an amazing addition to our lineup. I can literally afford to pay him no money, though, is the problem. My budget is $0.00. I can offer you nothing. Yeah, you won't take a minor league deal, so I cannot sign you, my friend. I don't have any money. Does anybody wish to play for free? We could get Wildman Julio Cruz. I don't know why we would, but we could. I will offer Mike Brown a minor league deal, and I wouldn't object to another infielder. So maybe we'll also offer Terry Pendleton a minor league contract. And one more, I wouldn't mind getting Jose Uribe would actually be a nice get as far as somebody who could be a backup. So let me once again offer you $0.00 and see if that intrigues you at all. Pitching, just do your thing game. I don't mind. We are not putting Mike Jackson in. No, don't be fucking stupid, game. No. What on earth would possess you to put Michael Jackson in the goddamn rotation? Just cease. your ridiculousness. Anyway, lineups, do whatever you want here. Okay. I've got a feeling most of these guys will probably tell us to get fucked, with the idea of, oh, we got all three of them. Neat. Then let us send them all up to the big league club for some spring training opportunities. I can get on board with that. Yeah, signing Ozzie Smith was a mistake. For a small market club, I should never have invested that much into one player who, while he's excellent, right? Like, I have no complaints about him as a human being, or even as a defender, he's not flawless either. Basically, unless a player's playing at an MVP level, I can't afford to pay them $3 million. So some players I can't afford not to either, though, which is an issue. Alright. Wait, doesn't he's on a minor league contract? I just fucking cut his ass. Okay, I'm going to... Oh, I see, because you are Rule 5 guys. I'd rather let Mike Brown play over Gerald Perry, because Mike Brown is a little bit more... well-polished. I'm going to send Jose Hernandez to the minors to develop his bat a bit. And I will actually end up keeping both Pendleton and Uribe. And I think we say goodbye to Gary Roenicky, too. So, Cianez makes the team, Roberto Hernandez makes the team, and Steve Avery makes the team. Okay. I feel good about this. I feel good about the choices we've made, and I think we're going to be a very competitive team. Jeff Innes, quit trying to make the damned... I'll let you make it this year. I feel a little bad for you. Okay, so let's clear the lineups. And let's go here, and let us clear out the charts of depth. Alright. So we're going to do the good old batting ratings. Our best hitter by a ridiculous margin is Will Clark, so he continues to be our number 3 hitter. Lenny Dykstra continues to be my leadoff guy. I think that's the perfect role for him. And then who bats second? Is it Jose Vizcaíno? Or is it Ozzie Smith? I think it's Ozzie Smith over Vizcaíno, but only just. And it's mostly because of Smith's incredible plate discipline. Batting cleanup will be Matt Williams. Ruben Sierra will be batting in left field and... Oops. Game. Game. There we go. Batting 6th will be the incomparable Mike Brown. I'm going to have him play DH. I guess Milt Collier can go ahead and play right field because I have literally nobody else to play it. But I want Jose Vizcaíno batting 7th. I think that's a great place to hit him. And then Bob Melvin is our catcher. And I don't have a backup catcher. I did not realize this. I may have made an error. Oh, Randy Gomez is randomly just like, oh, the worst now. Okay. So, Randford Gomez, I'd like to designate you for assignment. And I need to find the world's cheapest catcher. Looks like I have several choices here. When you can get a guy like Gary Allenson, you have to take him. That's just the rules, okay? And let's go ahead and generate a depth chart here. I don't want Pendleton playing that much. He's not that much better than Matt Williams, so I will ask him politely not to play that much. This is fine, pitching-wise. I kind of like this setup here. You are not the backup closer, though. In fact, you're not even the setup guy. I trust Michael Jackson more than I trust you, so it's going to be this. And then it's going to be this. And whoever ends up being the best of our relievers is going to be granted the right to be pitched more often. No, let's just go ahead and do that for Roberto Hernandez. That's fine. Alright. Let us sim all the way up to the day of opening. I mean, I'm angry with your performance too, you piece of shit, so fuck off, is my advice to you. Like, let me be clear. I will own the fact that I probably should never have signed Ozzie Smith the bat to that big a contract, but you gotta give me a fucking break here, dude. I am only one man. I cannot handle all of the jobs. And that means you gotta give me some fucking money to work with here. Like, it is not a source of pride for you that we have the 25th rated budget in the major leagues. You should feel ashamed of yourself, and you should give me more money. If you expect me to win. And if I don't win, that's on you, my guy. I can't work miracles here. We may very well get fired at the end of this year. If that happens, it happens. I also may not. I don't know. But I feel pretty likely that I will, in fact, be fired. And once again, Alan Anderson returned to the Royals against his will. Someone's going to have to play out of their mind for us to make the playoffs this year. I have several people that could, but it's definitely not a guarantee. What is Pascual Perez complaining about? Oh, he wants a new contract. I definitely can't afford that. I 1000% cannot afford to bring you back. So, if we're out of it, I may end up trading you at the trade deadline. And it's not because I don't want you, it's because I can't afford you. Ozzie Smith has a torn ligament in his thumb. It means it's Uribe time. I might as well go ahead and call up Jose Hernandez. While Smith is hurt. I mean, Hernandez is already a better left fielder than Uribe. Or shortstop than Uribe. I'm going to bat Vizcaíno second while Smith is out, and then we're going to let Jose Hernandez play shortstop. All of the stopping, all of the shorting. Go ahead and do these. I'm not starting Allison that frequently. I'm definitely not playing Pendleton that much or Uribe that much. Cease your prattling, noob. Or literally only made the depth charts. That's hilarious. You can do what you want to here. I don't care because it won't come up until the postseason. And only then if I actually make the World Series. So I'm not overly concerned about it. Good for you, Stephen Avery. So if we look at our team, first of all, we're 31 and 20, 32 and 21. And just about everything that should be working is, except for the things that aren't. And you're probably like, what? Let's talk about what isn't going as well as we would like. First of all, the pitching staff is arguably ahead of schedule. Steve Avery has slotted in nicely. Oral Hershiser, Pascal Perez, and Jim were all having great seasons. This is the good part. This is what is good about this team. Offensively, nobody is particularly punching their weight yet. Jose Vizcaíno is. He is hitting .312 and features enough other pieces that he is being a productive player. I'm happy about that. My man, Lenny Dykstra, is still getting on base. That's his job. So I'm happy about that, too. But Will Clark is not playing well. You're being paid almost $3 million. I need to see you dominating. Not playing well, dominating. And you are not. And that is very, very concerning to me. Will Clark is looking like just another guy, not one of the best players in the American League. Matt Williams is fine. He's not brilliant. He's still woefully disappointing, but he's fine. Ruben Sierra is okay. If people in the pitching staff are playing better than they should be, the lineup is playing worse than they should be. And I don't really know how to fix it because I don't have any money. I don't have any way to get money, which is the problem. It appears not to matter right now, but it will eventually. Either the hitters got to figure their shit out, or we're going to be in a world of hurt come the All-Star break. We're going to get Ozzie Smith back in a few days, and certainly nothing Jose Hernandez has done yet has impressed me. So we might want to send him back to the minors to work on his offense as well. Alright, so we're going to get Ozzie Smith back, which means Jose Hernandez, goodbye for now. Interesting. Apparently Jose Hernandez is an asshole. That's interesting, and I did not predict that. I don't remember him being that big a jerk in real life. Maybe I'm wrong, though. I'm going to let Ozzie bat later in the lineup just because Jose Vizcaíno is playing quite well at the moment. And I don't really feel like fucking with the only hitter who is hitting well this season is a good strategy. So we're just going to do that. And we'll go up to the day that All-Star teams are announced. Why not? Fucker, you do what you need to do. I don't want to hear you complaining. I have made your team relevant despite a shoestring budget. Shut up. I don't want to hear a single word of complaint from you or anyone else associated with the Kansas City Royals. Mr. Kim Allen is like, yeah, I don't feel like it. I'm just going to let you go. I don't see any reason to bring you back. I'll go ahead and give extensions to my various coaches. They all want to take less money. I mean, not my pitching coach, holy shit. But we've had really good pitching, so I don't feel like I can fire him. There you go. So let us now observe and see who made the All-Star team from us. I'm going to predict it's probably going to be a couple of pitchers and many Lenny Dykstra. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen here. It is indeed two pitchers. It is Oral Hershiser and Pascual Perez. And Lenny Dykstra. Holy fuck, I was right. We had literally 3 All-Stars. I said a couple pitchers and Lenny Dykstra, and that's exactly who it was. That's a bold move, keeping Gary Sheffield at third base. I would not, but that's okay. That's a really good National League All-Star team. These are both excellent All-Star teams. I'm surprised Barry Bonds didn't make them whenever he got hurt this year. How's Gerald Young doing? He did not make the Hall of Fame. I am unsurprised. Damn, look at fucking Tony Gwynn carrying a 404 into the All-Star break. That's pretty bonkers. Who'd have been the DH for Cleveland in 2005? I can't think of it off the top of my head. I remember there's this weird sequence where, like, fucking Einar Diaz would be a DH, even though he was not a great hitter. That was always kind of weird. You would give me John Russell. It would not help me, though. He's not that good. And I can't afford to give you Scott Service or Paul Abbott. If people want Jeff fucking Enos, they can have him, but like it's not going to help as much as you think would. Oh, Jose Hernandez has taken a shine to his abilities here. That's very good news. He is still a long ways away from being like major league quality, but he's already reasonably good. Without Pascual Perez, we're screwed. So I think I have to just let him go. I don't really have another option here. I could trade Paul Abbott, but then I'd be concerned about what happens if I lose a starting pitcher. That would concern me quite significantly. Let's see where we are at the trade deadline. I don't necessarily want to trade Pascual Perez, but he's the only chip I've got. Terry Pendleton, you can go to hell. And you can stay there. Because I ain't going to be bullied by you. Oh my gosh, Ozzie Smith. Really? I mean, you are getting old. Alright. So question one, is there a way we could upgrade the team effectively? I could use a better DH. I don't know where a better DH would come from, though. And especially one with team control. Which I don't have. Is there an asset I can move for a better DH? I mean, it wouldn't take much to get a better DH, right? Like, he's not that good. But I don't know what I'd have to trade in order to get one. Now there are two of them. This is getting out of hand. Although at least Ruben Sierras can also draw walks, apparently, which is something that Matt Williams hasn't figured out yet. Is there a quality designated hitter on the market that we could acquire without paying too much? We could bring back Fred Lynn. That's hilarious. I'm going to try to trade Ozzie Smith. I'm going to see if anybody's interested in taking him off my hands. Nobody. That's fair. So then, let us check the offensive playbook. I'd love to get an Eddie Murray. But I can't afford him unless I trade Dykstra or Clark, and I don't want to trade either one of them. What if I offered you Ozzie Smith? Really? You absolute prick. That's why I can't trade Ozzie Smith. There is only one word to describe you, my friend, and it is asshole. You are hurting the team by not being traded. I could probably get Phil Bradley relatively inexpensively, couldn't I? Can you get me some Phil Bradley here? Only for, like, pretty good players, and that is not something I'm willing to do. So let's instead decide who I can part with and get something of value. What is on offer for Mr. Paul Abbott? Like, it's mostly being offered, like, pictures are being offered to me. Let's look at batters, please. Ron Jones is a possibility. Darren Dalton, quite frankly, would be a fairly nice player to acquire because we will need a catcher after this season. Alright, let's get Darren Dalton for now, because I do need a catcher. I'm then going to promote Darren Dalton right to the big leagues. And I'm going to trade Bob Melvin. And I only want to look at outfielders. No, any batter is fine. I mean, I guess a guy like a Joey Meyer would be okay, if not for fact he only hits home runs, and that's going to do poorly in my park. Like I said, I need I need a DH or something like that, and then I turn around and get a catcher. What if I included Enos here that people apparently seem to like? People are kind of like, yeah, fuck yeah, Jeff Enos, let's go. I guess Cecil Fielder, that's definitely would be a reasonably good DH candidate. Sid Bream is a baseball player, without question. I guess we can get some Cecil Fielder action in. Let's do it. Oh my god. Put Ruben Sierra back, please. Why do you do this to me, Cecil Fielder? Wouldn't say Darren Dalton. Alright. Cool story, bro. Let us proceed forwards. I had no idea the reason I couldn't trade Ozzie Smith is that he was refusing to be traded. I guess something happens to a pitcher. It's going to be Alan Anderson's time to shine, which, all right, but not great. I mean, there goes Ozzie Smith again. He's quickly developing a talent for being injured, which is not the kind of talent, quite frankly, you expect from an important piece to your team. But here we are. Oh my gosh, come on, guys. We've got to take advantage of this weak division. We have to. We will probably never get a better chance to make the playoffs. And if we don't make the playoffs, I get fired. It's as simple as that. I would be utterly shocked if I get to keep my job if we somehow do not win the National League West this season. I genuinely don't think that's going to happen. We'll bring back Ozzie Smith, I guess. Why not? Yep, we're fucked. We're too far behind, and that's no playoffs for us. And I got fired, as I said. Ownership's expectations are to go get fucked. That is their expectations. We're gonna leave it right there. I will take the blame for one thing and one thing only. I spent way too much money on Ozzie Smith. Paying Ozzie Smith almost $4 million crippled the rest of our team here. I at least want to look at how we did offensively this season and determine how we did, and then we will go from there. Okay, Lenny Dykstra played out of his goddamn mind. Jose Vizcaino is a borderline star, but Will Clark was really disappointing. A Will Clark that's only a little better than average is not what we're paying for. We got a decent year out of a lot of players, and then two of my regulars were garbage. And the pitching was just, quite frankly, redonkulous. It's the only reason we were as good as long as we were. But here we are. We have been defeated. We have been fired. I should not have been fired. In all honesty, I know I made a couple of mistakes, but with any kind of actual money, I think we quite quickly would have made the playoffs and made them consistently. But my pals, my amigos, I can't end the episode without deciding what team we're going to go with next. So, let's look at the jobs that are available. So plenty of teams are interested in hiring the services of a person as amazing as me, as they should. Are you fucking joking? Below average market size for Los Angeles. It's 91. I don't know what you're smoking, but stop, please. Let us quickly see which team would be the most in need of my services. How many teams have never won a World Series at this point? The Angels, Royals, Expos, and Blue Jays. Who is the benefit of a quality draft pick? The Mariners would be an interesting choice. Have I ever been the Mariners before? Have I, at any stage in my illustrious career, been the manager of the Seattle Mariners? I don't believe that I have. Do the Mariners want me? They do. Wait, the Mariners have won a World Series? Like, okay, I know the Angels would like me to be their GM. Which is, frankly, great news. I'm delighted they'd love to have me. And I'd love to have Edgar Martinez and Barry Bonds on my team. But here's what I find interesting. That the Mariners have won a World Series. When the fuck did the Mariners win a World Series? Oopsie doodle. When did the Mariners win the World Series? They won it in 1988. Not that long ago. Interesting. So, it comes down to the Mariners or the Angels. And I kind of... Oh, the Mariners have Jose Canseco. Interesting. Very interesting. I mean, the Royals are still the most, like, the Blue Jays or Expos would be the most pathetic teams to choose from. But neither one of them will hire me. So the question becomes, do we go Mariners or do we go Angels? A big market does feel kind of nice. Oh, the Mariners are going to give me 4 years. The Angels would only give me 2. Who else do the Mariners have of note? They have Jose Canseco and a whole bunch of garbage in the lineup. And they have Juan Guzman and a whole bunch of garbage in the pitching staff. Interesting. They've got a lot of money to spend, which is always appreciated. But they also need a lot of work. To have a major league quality lineup, there's going to be some very serious decisions made in the offseason. And that does kind of appeal to me. I like the idea of having a lot of work to do. I'm really leaning towards taking the Mariners job. Is there any reason not to take the Mariners job? The California job is definitely easier. I mean, if you look at the Angels lineup, you're going to see a collection of studs like the world has never seen. Edgar Martinez, Mike Greenwell, Barry Bonds, Walt Weiss, Kevin Moss, old pal Gerald Young, I guess. And they have less money to spend, though, which is fine. I'm not necessarily unhappy about that, but it's going to make things a bit more interesting. The thing is, though, this is what ultimately seals it for me. They're already successful without me. I want to take a team that is struggling and make them great, not take a team that's already great and keep them at a level of greatness. So I am going to take the Mariners job. Are you sure you want to work for the Seattle Mariners? I do. Now, Jordan here is a cheap bastard, but he's also very hands-off. And because the team is in such rough shape, and I have quite a bit of money, I'm going to have a lot more flexibility to make big moves and make this team worthwhile. But that is all going to start next episode, my friends. I'd like to thank you for watching. This actually works out nicely. This means, assuming at 3 teams, I'll be at 2021, which is perfect. So maybe I was secretly trying to get fired. I don't know. But yeah, this is going to be a very interesting off-season. And I think we're going to have quite a bit of money for free agents, so we can make big moves if we wish to make them. Until next time, my friends, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.